Hey, what's up, guys? All right, Yazat is here, man. Artist and author at your service, ready to complete the work at hand. I always say that every time, and I end up not finishing it. But basically, we're here again today, and I hope you guys are cool. Welcome to my channel, Yazat714. Hope you guys are having a great time. Don't forget to follow me, send me a chat. Tell me how your day is going. Hope you guys are great, and you guys are having a great time wherever you are. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the work at hand. I don't see it as work, but let's get in. Let's get into it. I'm basically drawing these characters, and I'm kind of done drawing the characters. So I've kind of pushed all the details of those characters, the him and her layers, and the other layers regarding the highlights. I pushed them into a layer called into a group called characters. So they're all in that group now. And I'm going to jump into working on the doc now. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Hopefully, you'll be able to finish the doc today. And maybe if you finish the doc today, we can get started on the water round. And yeah, the scene will be. I'd say right now the scene is probably halfway done. But the only thing left now is the dock and the water and whatever else is around. So that's what we're going to be going with at this point in time. Just keeping it super vanilla, not something super complicated. So hope you guys are great. You're having a great morning. Hope you guys are okay. Hope you had your dinner, lunch, breakfast, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night. Welcome to this show. Just get your cup of cocoa, strap yourselves in, and enjoy the ride. So yes, let me just get my stuff set up. I need to get a color to use for this the dock. I need to know if the dock is gonna be, brown, dark brown or something. I don't super dark brown. I want it to be something maybe dark brown might work. I want something that will contrast with the character's skin tone, so I'm gonna have to go with a lighter shade of brown. I can darken in some places per shading, but other than that, the way to go might be light brown. So I have these characters set up, and I have their group somewhere else. So I have set up. I've not set up any layers. I'm gonna go below. No, I do have a layer set up for docs. I'm gonna go below the characters layer and place it there because I want it to be behind the character. So whatever I do in that layer is not going to be affecting of the layer above it. So hopefully all my layers are on the defaults and they will not have any interactions. Hopefully overly with the colors above it. So right now I need to select brown color. So let's find something decent to use. Fortunately, we're already on brown, so we can just go for a lighter shade and see how that goes. Okay, that's not a bad shade of brown, actually. Having said that, I would prefer to go with something else different, in different shade of brown, because I think this one derives from my last coloring, or my last rendering of the character's skin. So I don't want anything close to that. I'm just gonna go for a different shade and see if I can go for something. This looks a bit reddish, not really what I want. I'll go for a lighter shade. Something a bit more towards the yellows. Okay, that is not bad, I believe. So this should be decent for me to use for my dock. So guys, feel free to send me a chat. Let me know how you feel this morning. Let me know what you're getting, what you're hopefully enjoying in this life. I can be able to, give more of the same. I hope you guys are cool, having a great day, and I hope you guys will be able to stay for the duration of the life. Let me know how you feel about things. Let me know how things are going in your life. We'd love to know. It's a life where we, at the very least, we care about each other here. So it's not basically a case of just coming here and then just leaving. Just say thanks for showing up, and I really appreciate your patronage. I hope that you have yourselves a great time here while you're here. I'm just trying to figure out if this is a great color to use. I could have gone for a lighter shade of brown, a different shade of brown, but I have a character who's wearing yellow, so I don't want anything that's going to clash with that. So maybe I'm going to have to stick with this one. Is it photogenic enough? I think it's fine. I might be wrong, but it's on a different layer, so if I have to, maybe I could change the hues if I have to. I do that quite often, but we'll see. We'll see if it's needed. So I'm sticking with my trusty Sergeant brush. I'll probably make it a bit bigger, so I don't have to spend too much time coloring. It doesn't like to be super big. Always remember to save often when you use your software, so you don't lose your work. Try and make it like every minute. This thing I'm experiencing is not something that you see commonplace. It just happens to be maybe my setup, or the kind of PC you have, or the kind of resources you have, or the way those resources interact with your software. I have no idea where certain things happen. I never really had issues where when I'm using the drawing app where it kind of crashes when I try to save. The apps are usually very robust in that regard. I use, so I don't really have that happening, but I have noticed that happening, with this one I'm using. I just happen to like using it. And it's again is far more compatible for me to use with my streaming software in comparison to other ones, which I wouldn't have this issue with. But we'll see how things go. Just beginning. You just have to just keep building and just keep trusting in God. Hope you guys are good. Thank God for another great day. To wake up today and giving us life. Maybe to be grateful for us. Another day to be thankful to Him. And to remember that we need to give our lives to Him and make sure that we accept His Son as our Lord and Savior, because time is uh, time is short. The world, you can see a lot of things are happening. Make sure that we're on the right side of things. That's the best thing I can offer freely in salvation and God, that God can offer. Just mentioning it here because it's something I feel is important. I hope you guys are great. Hope you're having a great morning. Thank God that you guys are here. You guys are wonderful. I really appreciate your existence. You're not a random speck on the planet. You are a real thing. You are purposed. You were designed for a reason. You were made for a reason. So don't forget that. Don't forget that you are not random. Randomness is subjective, I think. way people think randomness is not what randomness is. When it comes to humans, there's no such thing as random. That's the truth. Look at how the human body is. Everything is designed a certain way. So I don't find that random at all. And hopefully you shouldn't too. Shouldn't either. I can't tell anybody what to believe. It is what it is. So basically I'm drawing this I'm coloring this actually. I'm rendering this dock with this brown. Am I happy with the brown? Yeah, I guess I am. Doesn't look bad. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I decided to do an overarching shade on this, but I likely will do offline. I don't really bore you guys with too many details. Just show you guys what is possible. Digital art, what I've learned. Many people out there who are so good at digital art on YouTube. I do my own best. You won't be, I will just say it this way, you won't be short for choices. There's many people out there who are really cool and really know what they're doing. So if you want to go down that journey, you're not going to be alone. Right, so I'm rendering this my characters on top of this layer, so it's not going to be a depth. It'll be unaffected by this rendering. So I have to be concerned about spacing myself between them and so on. Still what I need to do. When you get used to doing these things, everything becomes seamless. Okay, I'm going to color this side. I'm have a bit of a block. I'm just basically going about adding details to this wood. You know, when wood interacts with water, it gets really dark. Maybe that's what I should do. Have a darker piece of wood. This one looks like it was newly installed. Like in the movies. It's all good. Obviously, we're simulating reality. It's not reality. Just something that, makes you think, what are these characters doing? What's going through their head? What are they up to? Why are they here? What are the motivations? I'm a big fan of storytelling. Speaking of storytelling, I have a story called The Judgment Land Saga in the form of a novel on my website, which is yazat.me, spelled yazart.me. Feel free to go on there to see the novel. I believe I have previews on there as well. If it's something you want to see, you can purchase my novel. It's a horror series. It's available for download on my website as an ebook. Feel free to go on there. Download it for a great price. I'm sure you'll love it. I'm a big fan of stories, like I am. So every time I draw something, I feel like I need to draw it. It needs to be about something. I feel like it needs to be about a story or something, or telling some kind of story that I feel is the best. Ultimate style of art expression is when your art tells a story. your art depicts something that you have experienced, so you're trying to give an idea about in your artwork, and then you want people to know what the story is. That's what I try to do in my artwork. So I try to make sure I tell a story, and it's something that's interesting. So that's why I tend to have characters in my scenes. Unless I'm just doing a vanity piece, then I do have quite a few of those too. But I prefer to draw stuff about things I'm interested in, like the stories I work on, or stories I have in my heart to do, and things I feel I need to talk about, experiences, stuff like this. I think that's when you get the best kind of art that tells you a story, or even something that you feel you could have experienced but you didn't. Things that you could have loved to have but you never had. I think a lot of times writers write from a state of loss. They write as somebody who has never had what they're writing about. So that is one of the most compelling types of storytelling. I think a lot of times people struggle to write things because of their place of their background. You find that a lot of times privileged people struggle when it comes to writing. I could be wrong about that. If they do, if they don't, it might be the exception. That's a presupposition on my part. So I'm open to I'm open to any discussions about that. And yeah, I don't mind being asked why I think that. And, I can even say right now, I don't have to be, I don't have to hide what I think about it. I feel like people that have a lot of things going for them, they don't really have very much to write about because they don't really have any experiences. And that's the reason why a lot of times certain writers tend to go to certain places to get inspiration. Doesn't mean that every writer has to be an ex-convict. There's a reason why people like that, their books tend to do well because they're writing from a place of experience that most people don't have and would likely never ever have. And so people are intrigued by things like this. They're intrigued by people's experiences. That's why autobiographies and this sort of books tend to do very well because a lot of times people want to know what was it like to be a rock star, what was it like to be an ex-convict, what was it like to be a killer, what was it like to be X, Y, and Z, a wrestler or a movie star or whatever it is. What was it like to date X amount of women at the same time, like some people tend to do. People are interested in that sort of thing and will pay a lot of money to get that information. So stories in life are very, very important. And I don't think people underestimate the power of a story, of a good story. A lot of people, I don't think a lot of people don't seem to maybe I'm wrong, but I feel some people might not understand the power of good storytelling, power of a well-written novel. I believe the highest form of storytelling is novel writing, and this is coming from somebody who has done multiple forms of storytelling. But I do believe that that's the highest form of storytelling because it's literally words on paper. You can literally write as many words as you need to write to explain a scene or to be able to elaborate on something that you feel needs elaboration, which is very hard to do in live action without spending days trying to put all that information together for people to digest. Because because people talk about the information age and how things are being sped up and how things are being turned around in terms of like people's uh sorry for mixing my words. People's retention is not great these days. But what people don't realize is that that's by design. People have always been who they've always been. It's not as the Bible says, nothing new under the sun. If people are not retaining things, they don't really have the time to sit down and watch stuff. It's because that's what they've been taught to do. Not because they can't retain stuff or they don't want to retain stuff. But that's how they've been trained to behave. They've been shown that methodology in their lives, in everything they've done, like whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's short-term experiences, courses, a lot of terminologies, a lot of methodologies that people are adopting that involve a lot of different things. Those methodologies find their way into so many aspects of life. One of those methodologies I can mention is like Scrum. Like everybody uses Scrum now. Everybody is like, trying to be a Scrum master. And Scrum has its uses. Understand it has its uses and whatnot, but it's an ideology. It's a thing that's been applied. Just like in uh, teaching kids, there's something called Montessori style of teaching. There's different styles of teaching, right? So depending on the style of teaching that you were taught with is how you're going to operate. That makes sense. If you're somebody who was taught a certain kind of way to think a certain kind of way, you will be hard pressed to not think in that fashion. You will think in that fashion because that's what you're taught to think in that fashion. So a lot of people these days go to school. They're not required to be the best. They're not required to push themselves. They're not required to do a lot of different things that they need to be doing. In the old days, if you didn't do well, you would be shamed. I'm not saying that anyone should get shamed. My point is that there's a right and wrong way of doing things. So you have to understand what is the best methodology, and the methodologies that are being used, are they effective? Can we go back in time, or can we go back and think to ourselves, these methodologies that are being used to replace the old systems, despite the flaws in the old systems, are they ideal for us to utilize? Do they do the job? So I'm not a teacher, so I think the best person to talk about that would be a teacher. But from what I've experienced personally, I feel like people people feel like certain things are not necessary. Like going to school is not necessary, and I'm someone who spent a great deal of my life in school. So I can never be a truly against school when it comes to gainful education. But you have to be learning something that's useful to you. You have to be learning something that will help you in your life. You have to be learning something that you can use. That's all I can say about that, really. So that's basically what it is. So people are not really trained to think and to retain information. Like in school, I don't think people take notes much in class these days. I don't think people are required to take notes in class these days. So if you don't take notes in class, then how do you teach retention? How do you teach someone to focus on things? Right, guys, so you can see I'm trying to simulate the wood using my same brush. I'm just trying to just go along the lines. I'm not trying to do anything complicated. It's not like I'm like zoomed into the woods. So like I'm gonna do super fine details. I might decide to do certain stuff. I might not. It just depends what needs to be done. But yeah, as you can see, it's taking shape. So you guys should keep track of things like this when you're drawing. And for those who are here for my drawing, I will continue to focus on that. My apologies if you get distracted by me. You feel like I'm talking about stuff that doesn't really interest you. It is what it is, you know. Everybody is different. I have the way I do things. A lot of times it's not really, I don't know what to say about it, but just think that sometimes I tend to see things in certain ways that people don't. Doesn't mean I'm better than anybody, I'm just saying. But basically, yeah, I find that in life, as the Bible itself says, it says, teach a child in the way he should go when he's young, and when he gets old, he will not depart from it. So if you teach a child certain things when they're young, even if that child is stubborn, at least you've done your part. You've done your job. You know you're doing what you're supposed to do. The emphasis these days, I feel, is like not teaching your child anything or trying to rely on the school system to raise your child. And that's where I think things go awry. That parents don't feel like they're needed, and they just feel like, okay, I'm just gonna just do, and I'm just gonna just go to work. When I come back, I'm gonna pick my kid, dump him at home, do my usual stuff for him. Don't really be too concerned what he's been taught in school. Just let him learn whatever he's learning in school and so on, and just follow that methodology. You know, follow whatever they're teaching you, and don't question it, because you're not supposed to question anything. You're a good citizen. You're supposed to just take everything on board that's been told you. Never question it. Never ask, why is this like this? Why is that like that? Just accept everything. So one of life's greatest gifts, yeah, is the ability to question. People can question the Bible, question God, and why can't they question things in this world? Is what I don't understand. People are quick to question God, but they don't seem to want to question the government or question things they don't agree with. And that kind of baffles me sometimes. You have people asking questions all the time. Oh, where's God? And where's this? Where's that? You know? But they never have that same energy, never keep that same energy for the government. The government should be receptive because they are your government. They love you. You love your government. You should appreciate your government. You know, you uphold the laws of your country as any good citizen should. And yeah, so if you have any questions about those policies, you can ask those questions in a good and timely fashion, and they can answer those questions for you. They can answer those questions for you. Not a joke, I'm just puffing around, sorry. That's ideally how it should be, but we see the reverse happening these days. People don't seem to be very keen on knowing what the truth is. They're okay with just being wherever they are and just accepting things and just going to their job and coming back from work every day. And as long as they can't do it, they will do it until one day they can't do it anymore. And when that happens, what happens next? You go to a home, you go to somewhere where you be forgotten. Cycle repeat for next generation and so on. What did we learn from the last generation? What did the last generation teach? the children to do. What exactly are we setting as wherever we find ourselves? What examples are we setting for the ones coming after us, no matter how young we are? Is that even a real question anymore? Does anybody even care? We don't talk about movies here all the time. It means I sometimes watch movies and stuff, right? But as you can tell, that's not really what's on my mind. I just see it as a distraction. That's all it is. Not something I do. I don't have any voids to fill. God has already filled every void in me. So I don't have any void to fill there. So we shouldn't be distracting ourselves to the point where things are happening around us and we just dig our head in the sand and act like nothing is happening. See people suffering over the world and we don't really know. We don't really care what they're dealing with. Just waiting patiently till when it happens to you. Then now all of a sudden you're outraged. You know, all of a sudden now the war is bad. You know, you should have known that war was bad. The moment you saw it happen to someone else, you should have known that if it could happen to these people, then it can happen to you. If the country is going down the tubes, it could also happen to you as well. And you can help your country by telling them what you think they can improve upon. So my point basically is like having bad retention is a sign of a deeper issue. It's not a people issue. It's like people having all sorts of stuff. I'm not a psychologist, neither am I a therapist. I don't really know. We all know that therapists and psychologists don't heal people. They only advise people. And a lot of these kids are diagnosed with all sorts of things, and they end up being on medication that kind of changes the composition of their brain. What I've read, science papers I've read, I didn't write those papers. Someone else did. Just telling you what it says. And they say that a lot of these things might lead to even worse cognitive a bit cognitive impairment. So you might have it even harder to read. Like when it says you can't read, it's not that you can't read. It's not like that. It's not like they are stupid or something. It's that they can't focus. I know what that was, and I understand what that is. That someone say that somebody can't focus. I've had that before. It's not fun. But the best way to deal with this is not pumping someone full of medication. These are just a few things I feel could cause issues with people's retentive abilities to retain information, abilities to sit and watch a video to its logical conclusion is impaired when you do not have that background, you don't have that tutelage, you don't have people telling you this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do it. They're teaching you the right thing, teaching you how to put effort into what you're doing. But sometimes you might not put enough effort into something and you need to learn to put effort into things. Just because you're being told this doesn't make that person a bad person. Someone advising you because the real world is like this. You go into the office, wherever you're working, you have your own business ideally. At some point you have to do an assessment and ask yourself, is this working out or is this not working out? If you decide to delude yourself, then you're not helping yourself or anybody for that matter. When I say this, I say it in terms of my own self, you know, because the stuff I have to learn myself, and I'm learning every day as the days goes. I feel like the stuff I need to learn myself, and I'm trying to learn those things and be better. And what I learn, I try to teach others, just like anybody else out there who wants people to do well. That's the difference with me is that I want you to do well, and I want you to know that making the effort counts. A lot of times when people tell you stuff like that in the wrong way, when they tell you, "Oh, this is fine, you don't need to do anymore," then you get comfortable. When you get comfortable, you don't really achieve anything. How many revolutionaries do we see today? God is the one who raises revolutionaries. If you're not getting revolutionaries, then it's for a reason. You're getting people who are out here calling things out and saying the truth about things, and it's for a reason. Okay, so this looks relatively good, doesn't it? So I didn't think it looked this good, but thank God, looks brilliant. I don't know if I'm gonna do extra shade on it. I think I'm happy. I mean, I'll just anyway. Let me just see if I can do some more work with it. So, in the real world, no one's gonna coddle you and say, "Oh, you have all the time to learn this thing and stuff," and you know, you can spend all your time. You just do this thing in this way and not even finish it, and you're good. So it's like the attention, your retention abilities becomes impaired by reason of how you're taught. For those who do that, if they do at all do that, because you need to learn the right way to do things. Like doing good is practice. It takes practice to be good, like it takes practice to be evil. It's not. It's learned behavior. People don't just become evil out of the blue. Like it's over years and years of doing the wrong things over and over and over again. As Rocket said, over and over and over. Let's keep doing the same stuff, expecting a different outcome. But I think I'm getting another shade. Let's get another shade. Not 50 shades, just another shade. Okay, so I think this will be my last one. I'm happy with what we have here, but make it look even better, hopefully. God's mercy. Let's see how we go with this. Real. Okay. Hope you guys are cool. Please also come into my channel. This is Yazat, artist and author. I'm writing this. I just I wrote this before. This got my layer. This is the doc layer, and I am coloring or rendering this doc. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for you guys to follow. Those who are trying to learn how to do digital art, you can see it's not rocket science. Just have to put some effort into what you're doing and believe in yourself, and you can definitely do it. I have faith in you. Thankfully, there's still teachers out there who always do things in the best possible way, no matter what's going on around them. Teachers, I cannot overstate how important teachers are. I know because I had teachers myself, and teachers are very, very influential. Very influential. I think I need to redo this line. I want it to be on the money. On the money. I could probably do the line myself, but I want to do it by hand. I already have a bit of a guide, so I can just follow that. I'm grateful to God I have this. Make my life a lot easier. You all need to learn how important teachers are and understand why you have to be careful what system you're privy to, because it will determine how your kids will be when they get older. It's a good thing they can escape it by going to private school, but I'll tell you right now, there's no escape for it. The only escape for it is you having faith in God, raising your kids the right way. That's the only escape for it. No school system is going to help your kid more than a good parent. That's why parents are very, very important in the life of a child. Mother and father are very, very important in the life of a child. That's why things need to be done the way they need to be done. And as a parent, you can't be selfish. Think only of yourself. You need to think about those who are behind you. Think about those you love. Always put them first. They are the ones who matter. They are the ones who count. If you don't, there's people out there who are ready to do that job for you. Is what I'm trying to say. They're ready to do that job for you. You didn't ask them to do. They're ready to tutor your children and become what they need to be in your child's life. So parents need to be involved in their child's life. Take their children seriously. Even if your own parents didn't take you seriously, don't use that as an excuse. This is your chance for redemption. So some of us didn't have the best, we would have liked to have, but we're still grateful that we had something. People out there had nothing, and yet they still turned out well. What excuse does anybody have then? So man, we can't hide behind excuses. We have to do the right thing, and just hope that God will be merciful to us. And He will look upon us with mercy and favor and grace. Sometimes the best is not enough. I'd say that much. There's nothing you can do. except trust in God. God said in the second Corinthians 12:9 that the grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. So if you think that you're at the end of your tether, trust in God and see what happens. I've done that several times, and you can see I'm here talking to you now. So yeah, trusting in God works. You have to really give him his flowers, because if it wasn't for him, we would not be breathing right now. So we just have to do the right things for our families, make sure that we do everything we can. Having done all to stand. Put him first in everything. Because yeah, these days are not the best, man. You can see the stuff going on around. People have been killed, people have been annihilated, wars in the world, wars and rumors of wars, pestilence, all sorts of things. Bible predicted all these things and it's all coming to pass. So we have to be very mindful which side you're on. This is just the beginning. So retention is very, very key. And that's, I believe, is why it's so fought against. So when you see it happen, they make this thing like, oh, people don't retention, whatever is not great. It's like, I don't agree with that personally. I think people retain fine. That's what I think. Because if you look at videos on YouTube, the ones that do the best overall are the long videos, not shorts. Shorts are quick, powerful, they feed into a certain demographic of people. But at the end of the day, the most powerful videos are the long form content videos. And you have something that people like, people will watch all the way through. If it's been proven. People do have that ability. They really do. Nothing's going to change that fact. That's how God made people. We need to remember that. They just tend to forget a lot of times, and they just tend to focus on what they've been said, what they've been taught. And there's nothing wrong with being focusing on what you've been taught, as long as what you've been taught is the right thing. So make sure that what your children have been taught is the right thing. Don't rely on anyone. Rely on yourself. You do the right things for your wants, for your babies. Do your best. God sees your heart. God knows if you're doing your best or not. That's what you can do. You don't control reality. Only God does. Not going to trust in Him. God will make things happen the way it's supposed to be. He'll give an expected end. Everything will be the way it's supposed to be. Okay, I think I can actually switch off my sketch layer now. I don't think I need it again. So let's see what we have, what we don't have. Go from there. Okay. That looks good, I think. Yeah. me see. Yep, it's on default, so we're good. I checked that earlier. Hope you guys are keeping track of what I'm doing. In case you're just joining me, this is Yazat, as is an author. And I talk a lot about different things. Don't get it twisted as well. You are going to learn a lot in this channel, as you can see. So I'm just drawing a dock, and below this is going to be a river. Draw some water. So I don't think I'll add any more details. I'll just do some demarcations in the dock. Hopefully I can figure out where the lines are, then try and trace them out and try and do a bit more lineups for the edges. Touch up a bit of the lighter shades. It should be good. Just check what's happening. Yeah. The streaming is fine. Hope you guys can hear me. Making sure everything is where it should be. Oh. I'm good so far. We've not had any crashes. And hopefully we won't have any crashes. Hope you guys are cool. Enjoying the life. Anything you have to ask, please ask me in the comment section. I have everything set up for you guys. Have a great life. Interact with me. If you send me a chat, I will likely respond during the live. So hopefully it's not too well. The live it's very up to it's very up to. There's not much latency. Latency is low at this point. And that was fine actually. I'm gonna do some demarcations. Yes. Bit too much. I don't like how this looks. I really do. It reminds me of that kind of rosy look you get in like a manga and stuff. Maybe it's just me. So if you guys are cool, please don't forget to visit my website, which is yazat.me. I have a bunch of stuff out there I'm sure you'd love to see. Just go on there and see what you like. And please support me by buying some stuff on there. I mean, if there's anything you have any queries about, I'd love to respond to that in the chat. Let me know. I'm just coloring these edges with some more volume. I'm not trying to be super specific. I think I'll go with just doing the whole thing. To a good extent. So I'm just giving it a few more demarcations just to make it a bit more seamless and give it a bit more form. I don't mind the jagged form because I like that sort of look. I think it has a place in art, and it's something that I tend to do a lot of sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I like to have very specific, very clean forms when I'm drawing. So without further ado, before I do anything else, I think I'll work in the shadows a bit more for these characters. So I'm just trying to use my darker shade to get the shadows done as well. I think we're good. The way I'm coloring this is like the sun is directly overhead. I'm not too concerned about the sun in this particular scene, to be honest. In my last scene, I think I forgot to draw shadows. Yeah, this is how I draw sometimes. It is what it is. So basically, I hope you guys are enjoying this. My whole purpose of this is to help those of you who are unfamiliar with digital drawing to take it up, because if I can do it, as you can see, anyone can do it. Also, would it would be cool for you to follow what I'm doing as well. Follow along what I'm doing step by step, so you can see that it is possible for you to actually do this stuff and do it on your own. You can use any software of your choosing. I'm using Color Painter, which is, as you can see, is a great software to use. The only issue I have sometimes with saving my stuff, and I've tried to rectify it, and thankfully today there's no crashing going on. I have crashed, I think, this week. I don't think I had any yesterday, but basically my point is that you can use any software you want, and I'm using this one because it's compatible with my streaming software. Plus, I just like using it. straightforward for me to use, and yeah, it's been a while I've dabbled in it, so I'm just like just going into it and just doing stuff. But anything I'm doing here, you can do anywhere else. I have drawn in a variety of software and drawing in double digits, and it's kind of the same thing to me. I don't think there's any real difference. The only difference is just the engines and how those software interact. You know how your paint interacts on the layers. It's, every software has its own way of doing things, even though they have the usual conventions like blend modes and transparencies and opacities, and they have all the filters and have all these wonderful things you can add to your stuff to make it even nicer. Adjustment layers and the lot. But having said this, I do find that a lot of times is not the easiest thing to get these things done on every software to look, exactly the same. But that's irrelevant though, because you can draw wonderful art on any of those software. It's not the software that makes your art. You make the art. You are the one who is special. You are the one who brings that X factor to the table. So this is the reason why it's possible to do certain things in certain software, because certain software have certain tools, which is nice. Not every software has, and every software is free. Not every software is paid. You can find some free software that can do what all the paid software can do. You can find some paid software that can do more than the free software can do. You just have to find the one that suits you, and then you just, I would suggest you start off with something basic. Don't go into paying all your hard-earned money to buying a software until when you're comfortable getting something that suits you. When you do that, then you can actually just dive right in and just start playing around. Just get your canvas set up, get your dimensions, get your resolution, apply everything, get your brush, set up a layer in a new layer, and then basically choose the color that you want. And you're away. You can just start doodling, and then you can just start to build a confidence doing this stuff. And then when I tell you to go, not just me, like go online and check people out, see which styles you like. Because I try to keep my style basic for you guys online. Not that I do super more than this, but I might do extra touch ups after I finish online that may make my stuff look even more professional. But then again, I think I'm hitting the right kind of look I want with this one, so I might not have very much to do. Once I've concluded this series, and basically that's how it is. It's just about your own taste. It's not about how complicated the art is. There are people who draw really super, basic stuff that's not super complicated. And it looks basic, but it's not basic. That's not the word to use. It's something that looks simple. Like all this kind of like drawing style, like Powerpuff Girls, Cartoon Network style, Textual Laboratory style, that sort of thing. You can have a lot of software that helps you to draw all sorts of things, and it helps you to have a simple style like that. When I say simple style, I don't think that's what I should be saying. I think it's more like a cartoonish style. It's not simple. Drawing cartoons is not easy at all. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it is, because it isn't. Drawing cartoons is one of the harder things you can do, because it's about dimensions, getting that look that lets people recognize what it is you're doing. As you can see, I've created a river layer, and I've placed that river layer below like my dock layer, so I can color behind the dock layer, not be too concerned. When I started this live, I did have a column I did pick. I did have already in my buffer. So I believe it's still around. I'm not sure. I think, yeah. I cannot. Okay, it's right here. It's right in my face. Basically, I don't know if this is blue I use, but it's a good starting point. So this has come in useful, and this I knew that at some point I'll get to where I'm going to have to draw the river. In my previous piece, we did draw a river. My color selection for the water was really kind of dark blue, almost indigo-ish. And that was not really my first choice of color. But when I did finish the series, I did go back in and make a lot of changes. Maybe down the line, I'll show you that piece. I would add something to my streaming software to just give you guys an idea of how it looks like, and then continue on to show you how it's possible and the kind of modifications you can make with the coloring, and you can add, like, do some color grading on it and everything. I had to do a lot of different stuff, which I find very interesting for my time as a photographer. Because, as an artist, all these things are all intertwined. You don't find one thing, they're not really separate. Art is a very collaborative thing. So it's not something that you're going to just do and then it's like, oh, that's the end. It's like, oh, I don't have this other thing to do and stuff. Art is very collaborative. It's a continuous process of drawing. Am I happy with this color? I think so. My brush doesn't get too much bigger than this, but maybe I can just squeeze and get something big, When you squeeze, that's why I love the Sergeant brush. When you squeeze it, it becomes massive. The only issue is that I lose my dexterity with the brush in terms of like my flow. So the kind of look you get when you can swivel your paint around, I think it's second to none. That's why I use this brush for everything. Like, you can use any brush you like, use any brush you want, anything that lights your fire, and go on and enjoy yourself. So basically, I'm starting off the river now. Who knows if I might finish this before the day is over? We'll see how it goes. Just take things one step at a time and go from there. Hope you guys are having a great day today. In case you're just joining me, my name is Yazat, artist and author. I'm happy to have you here, and I basically draw and I write and I do all these things, which I think is very cool, and it's something I hope you would enjoy as well. I have a website where I have my work published, so please feel free to go on there, see whatever you want, and get whatever you want. It's all for you. So yeah, I'm just coloring this now. This is just like my first preliminary coloring. I like where this is going. This color is actually really good. We should find a way to save it because it looks really great against gray. Let me just check something quickly. Cool. I'm on the default layer, so things should be fine. It's below, so it shouldn't even be a problem using this. Even if you say I had a different layer, a different blend mode selected. My blend mode is on default, which I prefer in this software. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe Corel has a way of setting different blend modes when you use different brushes. It doesn't make it nicer for you, which I appreciate what they do. They know what they're doing, they're the experts, right? Sometimes I just want to have that full control myself, and sometimes I just want to just be. I just want to be like someone drawing on paper. Even though you and I both know it's not the same as drawing on paper, but it is a really cathartic experience when you can just get up, you have something in mind, and I think it's a blessing, from God, because I've always wanted to be in this position where I could just draw what I had in mind on digital. I didn't have to source my colors, source this one, source that one. I know some people really love doing that, and yeah, I see a lot of really really great artists who do some really amazing stuff. Um, yeah, I still love traditional. I always will love traditional. I just like the fact that I can just get on and just open the software, just get straight to work on what I want, whatever idea I feel they need to work on. It's just one pen click away. All I have to do is set my canvas and go in. So yeah. So this is like they're not in the sky or anything. This is like the sea. So hopefully we're able to get something that resembles the sea, and we can go from there. Start with this one. What are your ideas now? I'm good. Let's see how this will go. We'll come up with something dark. I might layer it. I don't think I want to draw everything on one layer when it comes to the sea. I'm more or less at the end of this piece. I'll also separate my layers for the sea and see how that goes. Yes, I want to make some changes. This is a very important part of the scene. So we'll see how we can pull it off. If I have to start from scratch, then I will start from scratch regarding this sea, this river. So I'm coloring this now with my Sergeant brush. As you know, I have not really deviated using any other brush to do all these things except this Sergeant brush. As you can see, I'm just using one brush. I don't have to jump from brush to brush to brush to brush and so on to be able to draw specific scenes a certain way. You need to know that it is possible for you to just go in, just get one brush you like, and just draw your whole scene. And as time goes on, you feel like you get something better. I like to use stencils a lot, so stencils is a huge part of my workflow. But I'm not using any of them here, just to show you that, yeah, you can do this, and yeah, you can make this happen. Coloring this by hand. I could use a film, but I don't want to. It's a bit more personable when you color it by hand. It makes it look more hand drawn. We all know that that's what I've been doing this past few days is drawing this by hand, but you know what I mean. Right, so you don't really know if the color is going to be good for you a lot of times. I don't like that this color. Doesn't mean it's the best for drawing water, but I might go a different route with the water. But we'll see. Hmm. Just thinking. I'm just thinking something. I'm thinking about something right now, and it's actually an idea I'm getting in my head. So basically, sometimes underwater, you have like moss, you have like, there's no such thing as underwater grass. What would I draw on there? I mean, I could draw on underwater. No, there can't be stone there because people will need to move around, right? You cannot have your boat on here if there's stone beneath the water. There can be like rocks and pebbles and stuff. This scene just seems to have gotten complicated now. This is why it's good to have ideas. God gives ideas. So I think I'm going a different route with this. I'm not going to make it simple for myself. So I could use stencils. That'd be the easiest route for me. But I could also draw it by hand. Um, yeah, a lot of times you have a boat there close to the dock. You're not gonna have rocks or anything there. It's not gonna be clear water. Rivers are not clear water. Maybe they are when you're up close to it, but they're not that clear water. Hmm. Maybe I could finish this scene and then maybe I can do that offline rather than boring you guys with those details. That one I can do offline. I don't have to do it here. If I do it here, it's going to extend the scene to maybe another 1 or 2 days. But right now, I could just finish this scene, just drawing the water and just moving on to next to something else. But I think I want to make this a bit different. Hmm. Yeah, that would work, I think. I think I would separate them though. My only issue now is drawing extra stuff. That's the only thing. Right, so you guys give me a few. Let me just organize myself. Maybe see if I can do what I want to do different from what I was line to do before. Give me a few, please. I'll be back. Welcome back. So basically, I will be going ahead doing that. I won't do offline. I do a lot of stuff offline, so maybe I'll do this one online today. It's gonna take this is gonna take longer. If I did it offline, it won't take me that long, but I prefer to show you guys while entertaining you what I'm saying. So basically, I'm gonna start off with maybe doing some dirt. Start off with dirt. I'm gonna have to select brown and go from there. So let's do that. I'm gonna select the brown color. By the way, I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Just an act of faith. Is what drawing is majority of the time. You don't really know how it's gonna go. Right, so I'm gonna try and be faster. Maybe I use a different brush for this. Yeah, let's use a different brush for this. Make me a bit faster. Not going for some too many details. This is just kind of like afterthought stuff. But having said that, I don't like to do things half and half. So I'll be going for my concept jitter art brush. It should be this one. That should make my life easier. Okay, it's nice and quick. As you can see, with my concept digital brush, I can block things faster. Also helps with detailing as well, but it has less personality in that when I do things like this, it's just like I feel it. That's why I don't use it often. But having said that, it's exactly what I want. So I need to now do some other things. Go for a darker shade. My select my sergeant brush, my trusty sergeant brush. Maybe not. Let me see. Just reducing the size of the brush. Okay. Maybe I'll go a bit darker or not. Does it really matter? I don't really think so, but still, let's do it. Right. So I think we're done with that layer now. So I'll go to do some rocks. I don't actually need rocks, but I just want to make this a bit, give it a bit more variation. Use the same brush. Oh no. Yeah, become too light. Yeah. A good color. Throwing some rocks now. You know how easy it is to do things when you have an idea what to do. You can see how I got it done. You can easily do this yourself in your software of choice. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to do it. So it is possible for you to get this done the way you want. As you can see, the scene is looking a lot more interesting than it was before. That's essentially what I try to do, is try to make interesting scenes. And thank God that gave me the idea, and I think it's a great, I know it's a great idea. So just keeping it simple, not doing anything super complicated. Right, I think I'm done with that. So I need to go in and do something else. Check. I don't want it to be dark, but not that dark. Be fine. Let's reduce my brush size once more. Okay. Usually I do something a bit more layered, but I think I'll skip that for now. Start at the top. And there's a will, there's a way, guys. There's a will, there's a way. When you have an idea, as you see, you just saw this live. You have an idea, just go in there. You've seen me do it live. I wasn't just talking about it. And God, just go in and you implement it. It doesn't take you 10 years to do it. They have to rummage through my they have to rummage through through my wardrobe to find some old some old oil colors, oil paints to do it. Don't say that's bad. Don't get me wrong. I love traditional art. I'll leave it there. You know what I'm talking about, though. All I was do was just set up my layers, change my layers around. I was debating whether to hide to put the river layer somewhere else, but I decided against to just leave it there. Didn't be so much of a problem. Not, and my software is playing nice notes and good, so I don't have any issues. No one I'm not happy with. Be closer. As you can see, I'm taking the time to do each of them, not just rummaging, brushing through. This is where kind of like you can see my speed, right? I try not to be fast when I'm teaching. This is kind of how I operate. And hopefully, I'll be able to use these skills for something even greater. By God's mercy. So you get to see even more out of me. I have a lot of content on my site, which is yazat.me, yazart.me. Please go on there and find what you like. I have a horror novel, a horror series called Germanland Saga, 4 parts. It's available on there as an ebook download. Feel free to download it for a great price. Tell me what you think about it as well. I'd love to know what you think about it. Love to hear what you feel, what you're feeling when you read it. I also have an album called The 12 Tribes of Yesharala. You have the ability to listen to it on the website. You can also download it as well and buy it as well for yourself, your family, and I'm sure you enjoy it. That's a way to support me. If you so choose, you can also follow me and you can also click on notifications to receive one whenever I'm live. I'd love to have you around when I'm live so I can have you watch, learn something from what I'm doing, and tell me what you think about what I'm doing. And if there's anything you think I need to add, let me know. I'll be happy to learn. And that went quicker than expected. Let me see. Well, this is okay, I guess. Next thing now is fish, right? Let's get some fishes in here. I don't know how many I'm gonna draw. I don't even know what kind of fish I'm not gonna draw out of my head. I'm not the best fish drawer, to be honest. Not the best fish artist. The art of fish. So basically, I'm going to, I don't know, select some random color. Let me go with orange. Orange sometimes confuses me, but I'll try and select it. I want to have some kind of gold. I don't know, some kind of finch or something running around. Something that shouldn't be there. Not a shark, but something that should be there. Something that's just like eye catching. Just trying to find a decent color. I don't know if it's just me or else struggles to give me what I want sometimes. I mean, I don't know how to get what I want. I don't know. These look like browns. Hmm. Let me start with yellow and see if I can work my way down to orange. Yeah, that's okay. Let me try and do something random. I told I'm not a fish guy. I'll try and draw some fishes. Some fishy fishes here. Maybe I just appear the kids. Let me see. Okay. I don't want super ginormous fish. I just want something decent. Uh, try this night. I don't think I'll need all these fishes, but no gravy. Wait, before I jump to somewhere else, let me shade them and then I can go somewhere else. I can do the features maybe later. After I draw like 2 other fishes and then pretty much done. Now, what I'm trying to do. Let's go. Look at that. I need to have 2 doc files here for some reason. It's weird. I have to put it below this one. No, actually, that's rocks. It's not look good. Let's just save it. No, it's too dark. It's too dark. Let's go lighter. No. Even worse. Let me try and select this again, make sure I have the right color. and go a bit darker. I guess I'll just stick with that one. Gotta get through this, man. Need to use my brush. Mm-hmm. I think I forgot I was supposed to have him. I didn't forget, but yeah. This looks like they don't have one. Mouth there is. Right, so I'm just detailing this. Give it some girth. Give it some depth. A little fishies. Nothing too elaborate. Right. Oh, I'm gonna try and select this color for this rock. I can work with that color. Something a little lighter, just a little. Just a little. Let's see how that goes. Just need two more fish. That's it. Just two more. And we're good. I'm not even sure if I need two more, but let's see. Ooh. What's happened? Not sure what happened there, but move it away from the rocks. Hmm. Okay, something slightly bigger. You know how fishes are, they kind of camouflage with their environment, so this should be more in line with what this place is. I do know one or two things about fishes. I have watched some wildlife. I think everybody's watched David Attenborough, so uh, so just basically Gonna color this, nothing really special. I would like to do something special with this one. However, it's a bit small, but maybe still possible. There's brushes that will help me do this with ease in terms of like trying to get scales and stuff on the fish. That would be nice. That would be well nice. Right, I'm gonna have the next one too far away. It's gonna be somewhere here. Okay, zoom into that one. I always remember to say, people, I'm just doing that now, so make sure I don't have any issues going forward. It doesn't have fins in it, so let's go with the fins at the top, outside. See what made them aerodynamic, water dynamic. Let's go. Good. Right, so I'll actually take this. That's the best I can do, really. Just trying to simulate fins myself. Stencil would have been perfect here. Yeah, try and get it nice. Nice. Alright, guys, that's all we need. Now it's what we're gonna do some really cool stuff. It's not rocket science, by the way, but yeah, I feel layer would be nice, I guess. But then again, I have my wonderful concept jitter brush. So I'm just going to use that. I'm going to block it, and we can go from there and see where I'm going with this. My wonderful people. But I'm going to save. Always save. That's what I'm doing now. I'm going to be able to finish this in time. I'm able to finish this before this stream is out. And then again, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, I think we're good. Now, all I need now is another layer on top of the fish. I'm gonna call it black water. Black water. I'm gonna put all these oops. I'm gonna put these in a group. Yay! Call the group River Bed. Now I'm gonna call this black water. Black water. Now, all I have to do is get my color. I'm gonna go real, like deep black, highest level of black possibly can. Right? And I'm gonna set my brush. I believe I still have the concept of just a brush selected. My favorite brush of all time at this point in time. You guys all know my favorite brush of all time. Hmm. It's going to be a bit complicated. When you see what I'm going to do with this, thinking I'm going to pull it off. I want to pull it off before I call it a day today. That'll be so nice. And the next episode. Look at it like cliffhanger. And the next episode of Yazarts. Yazarts. Drawing episodes. Yeah, no pun intended. It's called Thinking on Your Feet. Right, I'm going to use my mouse for this one because I want it to be as black as possible. And yeah, Corolla is kind of like, what on earth are you doing? Maybe it's a bit too black, but we'll see. Nothing is ever too black. When I want to get low gradation, I use my mouse. You guys know this. Just use your tools, man. Use your tools. And get that deep black color so I can do what I want. Do what I want. What I want. Right, so let's go this. Looks all good. Like, have any of you guessed what I'm going to do now? Oh, you're all very smart people, so I'm pretty sure you know what I'm going to do now. Oh, well. It's time for me to go. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie me. Look at what time it is. On a serious note, I can spare a few more seconds with you guys. Let me just see if I can just do one or two before we vanish for the day. Reappear tomorrow like vampires. Right, so See what's going on now? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Right, I'm gonna keep a backup of this below. I like the first one, but I'm just gonna go try something more. Okay, so yeah, I have rough ideas what I'm gonna do here. So this is just like the beginning. I don't know. I'm gonna finish this now or later. But yeah, you just have an idea what I'm thinking of, right? So this is it. I think I'll stop it here. Next live is gonna be tomorrow. Whenever I finish this piece tomorrow, and I'll likely end the live. Hope you guys have enjoyed things so far. Just want you guys to just see that how spontaneous it is when you understand what you're doing with this software. The ability you have to be able to just go in and do certain things that you want to do and not feel like, oh, like, you know, you can't do it. You can do it. You just have to believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, understand that everything you do is for a reason, So I just wanted to show you guys that, and I hope that I was able to get that across today by example, not just by what I was saying. You see that it is possible for you to actually think up of something and just go in and do it. That's what my goal is, to try and let you know that you can think on the fly when it comes to this style of drawing and just go in and do stuff. So tomorrow I might decide to add some grass on the sides where the kids are, and I decided to do some extra stuff. So we're just gonna take a bit of time to just finish this, because typically this stuff I do offline. I wouldn't do it for you guys, just to give you guys a good idea. Not to be discouraging. This is like more advanced, or let's just say more detailed stuff. It's not super advanced. When you understand it, you just have to just have that mindset of just saying, "I'm going to do it," and you're going to do it, and just time is your friend. When you're in the right path, you're doing the right things. Time is always going to be your friend. So remember that I'm also your friend too. And I thank God for having you guys around. Thank God for another great life. Hope you guys are cool. Don't forget to visit my website, which is Yazat, YAZART.me. I'll spell it again, YAZART.me, Yazat.me. Please feel free to go on there and buy whatever you would like. We have great books on there. We have a horror series called The Dormant Saga. It's free. You can see like a free trailer on the books and a free preview as well if you choose to. It's available for download for a fee. Please feel free to go on there and like see what you like. I've also got an music album called The 12 Tribes of Yasharala. You can be listened to. You can also download that as well for a fee. Got merchandise that has my art pieces on, like t-shirts, books, canvases, art prints, pins, blankets, tote bags, all sorts of things. I've also got stationery as well, beautifully designed stationery that I'm sure that you will love. You would love to show off to your friends and family, or you like to give it to them as well. You can send it to your friends and family, send it to whoever you want to, send it to yourself. It's great. It's great work. It's great work on those books, and I'm sure you'd love to use them for yourself. So I hope you guys basically enjoy that website as much as you enjoyed my stream. Hope you guys have yourselves a great day, afternoon, and night. Thank you for joining me. Take it easy. Have a great day. God bless. Ciao.